You depicted,
Yeah.
you imagining him like that?
Yeah, because his dragon has one eye.
God.
So I like combined the two. I combined I think he looks like that. That's what I'm picturing in my head. So
Nobody mentioned he had one eye, but Jess gave him one eye.
his dragon has one eye. Therefore, he has one eye.
Makes sense, Jess. I'm not judging. Like, it's your fantasy. It's your imagination.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Book Pottery Club podcast. I'm Jessica, and I'm from Canada.
And I'm Leah from Germany.
Together, we dive deep into the world of fantasy books, exploring new stories and universes. Join us on this reading adventure. Whether you're a seasoned reader or new to the world of fantasy, there's a spot for you right here at our club.
Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this exciting journey through fantastical worlds.
Welcome back to the Book Pottery Club. I'm your host, Jessica, and I'm joined with my co-host, Leah. I'm from Canada. Leah's from Germany. Follow the show on all social media platforms at the Book Pottery Club. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on YouTube and wherever you find your podcasts. On today's episode, we will be reviewing the much anticipated Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. We waited. I mean, we didn't read the fourthwing that long ago, so we maybe waited like 2-3 months for this book. So it wasn't a year wait, but I'm still so excited to start it. There was so much hype about this book; it's unreal. Today's episode, we will be covering chapters 1 through 15, including chapter 15. Leah and I have both only read chapters 1 through 15. We have not read further. So these will be our blind theories on what happens in the rest of the book. And I'm really excited for that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm
Thanks for joining us.
How wrong and how right we'll be. Sorry.
It's going to be unreal. And I wanted to mention that Leah's actually calling in from Japan today. So that's really exciting. So this episode, I'm in Bosnia.
Right now. Oh, sorry, we have a time.
Okay. Okay. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay, so Leah's calling in from Japan. I'm calling in from Bosnia. And it's my morning, her night, so the energy levels are definitely different.
100%.
Right?
You with the coffee, and I'm already with the tea mug, ready for bed.
Yeah, it's okay. It's going to be a good episode. I'm excited.
100%.
So, let's get started. We'll start with chapter 1, go through to chapter 15, and we'll have some predictions for the next 15 chapters as well.
Yeah. Actually, I was waiting for this moment, Jess, to finally ask you first, what are your general thoughts? Because you always ask me, now is the time to have your general thoughts about the book. So what is it?
I have to say, this is the first time in probably 2-3 years that I have read a book and not read it through. Like I have do not finish books, but like a book that I liked, this is the first one I had to stop at a point and like think about what happened. So general thoughts, I mean, it was good. I re-listened. I'm actually listening to the audiobook, so I re-listened to parts. Like I definitely experienced it more. So general thoughts are, I'm excited to see what happens, but I feel like it was still not that much happened. Like I'm still like, I just want to read more and like get to the point and see what the main plot is. So like they gave us hints as to what the main plot will be, but I just want to know. So my impatience is coming out here. What about you? What are your thoughts on it?
For me, true. Actually, for me, it's nothing changed. So for me, it's normal. Like I read a part and then I discuss it with you before I continue. So that's normal. But I agree, nothing major happened. Even though it's super fast paced, like a lot of happens, nothing major happens. So it's good. It's interesting. But I'm definitely ready to move on. And I think the next 15 chapters will at least have one little bomb waiting for us. So yeah.
I hope so. Something or a little bit of spice. I mean, we got a little bit of spice, but like I'm like, this is. There's tension. There's tension right now, and I'm like, why?
Too much.
Why? This is. But on a side note, this is how Rebecca Yarros is going to go 5 books with like already securing who the main love interest is. I think. So it's like this book's going to be all about them making up. I think, and then it'll be like some other storyline in the next one. Like like they can be together, but it'll be something big's happening and they get separated probably.
Yeah.
So that's my prediction. So this one will be like, I think we'll have to wait towards the end for any spice.
You think so? I really hope not. Oh man, come on. I just survived Crescent City. Like, for you guys, for a record, we were recording Crescent City 1 and then in the meantime waiting for Iron Flame. And I hope it's not a big spoiler for people who haven't read it, but like, the spice is so freaking slow and there's almost none. So, coming from that, I need a little bit, like, you know, change stuff.
I know. Just give it to me. I mean, we're on the second book. The slow burn has happened. Why are we redoing the slow burn?
Yes, why? Anyway, then let's jump into the chapters. Let's go.
Okay, so chapter 1. This book starts off right where Fourthwing left. Like, just basically, like, Violet wakes up from having been poisoned, and, like, she had woken up in the last one, but it continues from, like, having seen Brennan. So I thought Brennan would be involved more, like, in the first 15 chapters, but it was kind of like, she talks to Brennan in the first 2 chapters, and then he's gone. Like, we don't know what happened. Brennan stayed behind, and we're not hearing about him for a while. So,
actually, you're
did you
right.
feel that way?
He just, same. Actually, now that you said it, I just noticed, like, oh, wait a second, he was just there for like a snap of a moment, and then like, oh yeah, that's all, guys. He's alive, so nothing more to tell. Yeah.
I'm like, I want to know about Brennan.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I think he'll come back at some point. He has to, but I thought we will get more of him, more story of him, more background. I don't know, like he didn't even tell us really what Nolan did. That pissed me off really bad. Like, I wanted to know the story, and he just said nothing. It's like, what? But yeah, getting ahead of ourselves. So Violet meets Brennan.
So let's go. Yes.
Yeah.
They have that secret meeting. So basically, the rebellion or the revolution, however you want to label it, they have their own command. Like, they have their own leadership, and like Xaden's part of it, Brennan's part of it. There are these other people a part of it. And they're trying to figure out how they're going to win the war against the Venin, basically, right? Yes. And it's like, and they need weapons. We learned that they need a luminary. So I had a question for you. Is Violet's friend a luminary? The one that can bend metal? Is that considered a luminary? Was it Riddick? I don't know. One of them can bend metal.
It's not Imogen. It's not Ree. Yeah, Riddick? It's only... Oh, is it Sawyer? Wait, Sawyer or Riddick? One of them. I don't know. It is.
Anyways, we'll have to. Yeah. So we'll have to look into the one that, because I remember in Fourthwing, there's someone who can bend metal. So I'm not sure if that's the same as a luminary, because I think a luminary takes dragon fire and can turn it into metal into a weapon. But anyway, so that was my theory, is that like they're all gonna join the revolution, and that Violet actually has like someone who is like a luminary and her friends. So then they'll get their luminary. Yeah. No.
I just had an idea. Maybe a little getting ahead of ourselves again, but like we have 2 new characters, Eric and Soleil, or Sloan and Eric. Yeah. So maybe one of them will get the signet of luminary. So one of them joins. You know, maybe.
That makes sense.
You're right. I think you're right. They will probably all join the revolution and be like involved in it. Everybody, I think.
100%. Yeah. And I also, did you know in this meeting? So in this meeting of the rebellion leadership or whatever revolution leadership, there was a girl Suri, and she had silver in her hair. I didn't get it. Is she old, or does she have silver like Violet?
Who was that? The woman who didn't trust her, like, who was against sending her back.
Yeah, Suri, I think her name was.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought she was just described with silver hair. I didn't even like get the note that it's maybe related to Violet. But maybe you're right, or maybe she's just old. I don't know. It could be both.
Yeah. I don't know the language she uses, because I don't think she said like, because usually you use gray hair, but maybe it is silver.
Yeah, true.
So I'm not sure about that. And one of my theories, actually, from chapter 1, that's like came so quickly, is Melgren's dragon actually good? Because he gave them the rebellion relic so that they could hide from, like, so that nobody can see. So, what's his face? Melgren can't see the outcome of a battle when there are 3 signets, the 3 rebellion relics together. So is that actually a way of Melgren's dragon Kodai saving the rebellion kids? Like, I don't know. Like, could that happen? Like,
how did you read that? I haven't even noticed that.
No, this is just a theory I had because, like, when 3 rebellion relic children are together, they can't see what they're doing. So why would Melgren's dragon do that to them? Like, the rebellion relic, they could have did anything to mark them. They could have just tattooed them. Like, they didn't have to give them a relic, like something, because it has power, technically. Its power is to hide them. So I'm like, so could Kodai be good and Melgren bad? And they're like, have this internal battle between themselves, like between the dragon and the rider.
Actually, it's not that bad of a theory, because I have written down a little bit further down the chapters that Taryn makes a comment that, you know, dragons and humans are not necessarily voluntarily bonded, more of a like out of a necessity, and they don't really have a trustful, you know, relationship to each other. So it could be that Melgren is actually bad, the dragon is good, but they both don't know of each other's doings. So maybe maybe Melgren turns out to be actually the good guy, just disguised as the bad guy, to have, like, he's one of the spies, maybe, you know, in the leadership.
Yeah, he's not actually bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure about Melgren. He's still like a question mark for me. I'm just, you know, 50-50 here. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. So then so a lot happened. That was my theory from chapter 1. Chapter 2, Violet continues to talk to Brennan. Brennan thinks that they will win the revolution. Like, even though they don't have enough people to fight, they don't have enough weapons, like, he's convinced, I think because he thinks he's on the right side and that people will join him, which I think is true. Like, they knew Venin were out there, like, terrorizing villages, and also even the riders, or the griffins. I think that they would still, like, want to help them. And they briefly mentioned that there's a school for Venin, or that's what Violet thinks there is, because she said there was a sage. So could it be that the Venin have, like, their own leadership and their own, like, school, and that they're just evil, and then we have good? But are they actually evil? Like, I don't know. We'll find out.
We don't know.
Yeah. And then our theory from last time, Mira doesn't know of Brennan. So that theory kaputs. She's not secretly in the revolution.
But wait. That's the thing. She just doesn't know about Brennan. But nobody says anything about her not knowing about the revolution. So but then again, everybody knows, everybody that knows about the revolution knows also about Brennan. So actually that theory right now just crumbles while I'm saying it. So Mira is not in it. Mira doesn't know. True.
Yeah. So I think she will find out. I don't know if she'll find out in this book, but I think she will find out in Join, of course.
She will 100%. She has to.
That's a prediction, but I think we're like 99% on the right for this prediction.
100%.
And then it doesn't happen, and she's actually evil. Can you imagine? No, Mira's good.
Oh my god! Imagine. All right.
And then you're right. You mentioned this. So Taryn does not want to talk about Nolan, and says it cost him. They say it cost Nolan everything to save Brennan. So I still stand by our theory that Nolan became a Venin. Like, I think this confirms it. They don't want to talk about what he did. Yeah. Like, he's a Venin. Like, I don't even know what to say to that. Like he's a Venin.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that too, because it gives me a lot of Voldemort vibes. Like, he was also one of the pupils in Harry Potter, and I don't know, like, and then turned bad, and then suddenly nobody wants to talk about it, because, like, it turned into this bad story, and it's the same with Nolan. Nobody wants to talk about it. So Brandon not telling us the story just confirmed for me, like just for you in the second chapter. Okay, he must be Venin then, because nobody wants to tell us the story of him. And
he, like, on,
do you think
they would say
we'll see?
They would
or
say
we'll find out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
no,
go ahead.
Going,
you have a time like.
No. I think we will find out.
Yeah,
like, I think we will find out that Nolan became Venin, 100%. Like, it's gonna happen. We find out. So, but Taryn doesn't want to talk about it, and I think I don't know if he's embarrassed or why he doesn't want to talk about it. Like, he doesn't want to show Violet that can happen.
Maybe, or maybe he's just Taryn, you know? Maybe he just doesn't want to share his feelings. Maybe he's so, like, heartbroken by what happened that he just doesn't want to talk about his feelings. Which is, I think, maybe the most yeah, how do you say, like, most probable theory, because he's just, he's just like that. But yeah, he's a Venin, 100%.
He's Venin. I don't think he's a Venin. Like, I am on Nolan is Venin.
Yeah.
Theory.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we will fight against him 100%. Like, he will show up in the revolution and then suddenly, you know, coming out of the mist suddenly with the red eyes, it's Nolan, and like, oh my god, we knew. But yeah, moving on.
Yeah. Okay. So, you go the next points.
Oh yeah. So I wrote down that the box that the Venom were after is made of iron, and I'm just thinking about the title here, Iron Flame. So is it maybe a coincidence that maybe it actually has an importance to it that the box is made out of iron, and it's also Navarian craftsmanship, meaning it's from Navarre, it's made from iron. So I think I can't get behind it yet, but there's some like little puzzle here lying in there. So the box is from Navarre, it's made of iron, and it's used, I think, to destroy the wards, and that's why the Venom are after it. So, okay. But I'm just wondering, like, why it's outside of the wards, why it's not inside of Navarre, and it's in like it's how do you say, like, placed in other villages and cities. What do you think?
So, okay, on your theory, I'm just gonna like go a little bit off topic here. So, on your theory about the title of the book, Iron Flame, I think Iron Flame is actually talking about the Luminaries' power. They have the ability to turn dragon fire into weapons, and I think they use iron for that. So I think Iron Flame comes from the weapons that are needed to kill the Venom. Like, that's the way that they do it, with dragon fire and a metal. So I think that's that. But these boxes, I have no idea what they are. Like, I don't know. I actually am confused. And they said that one of them had Liam's family crest on it, right?
Yeah,
the one from...
True.
So I'm very confused. I have no idea what these boxes are. Like, I'm 0% I know, but maybe Sloane will pay. Liam's sister is Sloane, right? I think she will play a part.
Yeah.
I think that she will know something about this box because it has his crest.
Do you know what was Liam's signet again? I forgot.
Oh, me too. Oh.
Listen. So we're talking about Navarian craftsmanship. One of the boxes had Liam's crest on it. And Liam was also always working on wood, like wood figures. So he had like a craftsman's thing going on already. So maybe it's in his family ancestry that they're doing craftsmanship. And that's why maybe Sloane will actually become a luminary to, like, you know, to follow that path. Yeah. Maybe the whole family is in, you know, not mending, but what is it called? Like just the craftsmanship of creating stuff out of wood, out of iron, whatever. So maybe that plays a role into it. That's why we had a crest on it from Liam's family. I don't know.
Okay. I looked up Liam's signet was far sight. He could see far away.
Ah, okay. Something completely different then. Never mind.
But I do agree. I think you might be onto something with the craftsmanship thing. Or, I don't know, like, if it can go back to the founding of Navarre, like if there was like maybe these boxes that were given to everyone, like royal families or like in position of power. Because I think that power is somewhat hereditary. I don't know, like do they inherit their, I don't know. We don't really know actually a lot about the system. Like they have a king, but is he like, is it, I guess, what am I trying to say here? Like, do they have a government that's elected, or do they have like a dictatorship, or like how does power work? Do they have noble houses that's passed on through their children? I think it's noble houses that's passed on through their children. So maybe Liam's family, I think it is, Liam's family might have been noble, and all the noble houses had these boxes from
maybe.
But these are far-fetched theories. I actually have no idea. Like, this is the hardest part. These boxes, I want to figure out what they are, but it's confusing at this point.
Definitely.
So, and then the ward stones. So we actually learned something very interesting. The ward stones that protect the veil, protect everything. We found another one.
Yep.
Interesting.
Two.
So, they think for me, okay, so the couple things I had to think about this. So they mentioned, I think there's a ward stone in each of the hatching grounds. Did you get this? Did you have this theory? Like,
no.
Because they mentioned that black dragons come from Tynish. So they found the hatching ground for black dragons. And there's energy in the hatching grounds. So I wonder if there's a ward stone in each hatching ground. And then they just picked one of the hatching grounds to be the veil.
Interesting. Okay. I haven't picked up that. Could be. So you think there are more than 2 ward stones? Like every hatching ground has one? Ah.
Yeah, I think so. Every dragon color, their hatching ground, I think, has a ward stone. So.
Okay.
Because they found one where the black dragons have had their historic hatching ground. And I think it's, I can't remember what color they mentioned, but like where the ward stone that is like working right now, that's located where another dragon has their hatching grounds. So there's energy in those places. And I think, so I think that, I don't know why they abandoned the other hatching grounds. Like now all hatchlings come from the Vale, right? Like there are no other hatching grounds. So I think that plays a role into it. And they only created one ward during unification. And I think Mira, my prediction is, because they want to figure out how to extend the wards, like that's kind of the mission that we're hearing now, is that there are more ward stones, so they can possibly extend the wards to cover a larger part of Navarre. And like outside the Vale, like they can extend it past the Vale, they can cover everything and protect more people. I think Mira plays a very important role in this because she can create and extend wards. So I think she is the key to extending the wards. She knows how to do it.
Oh my god. I completely forgot her signet. But that would make so much sense. And that's why she will get involved into Revolution. Like, Violet will at one point probably talk to Brennan and the others and say, hey, my sister can do this. Oh, we don't want to involve her. Yes, we have to, because I now have the recipe to create the wards. I need her. Yeah, totally leads to that point that she will join the Revolution because of that. And she's definitely 100% down for it too, once she knows. Interesting. Very, very good observation, Jess. I haven't even, good one.
Yeah, so I think Violet, her mission right now is to find in the archives how to, like, the lost art of weaving wards. I think she will find out that there's a certain signet that can do it. It'll be Mira's signet. She will approach Mira. Mira will learn about Brennan. They will extend the wards. And but that's like, I think that's how it's gonna play out.
Maybe, I don't know in this book, but definitely along the line, Mira will somehow play a part in this. Not just because she's their sister, but also because she has something they need. 100%.
Yeah. So, okay, cool. So I definitely think that's like That's my new theory. And that's, I think, the point of this book, right? Is to learn that we can extend the wards. I think this is what we learned. And we learn a lot about dragons, actually, which I really wanted to happen in this book. We start to learn more about how dragons come by their color, their tail. So the moment of truth, the thing, kind of the cliffhanger we were left on from fourthwing. Yeah. What color is Adarna? Yeah. We knew she was full grown. We knew she had a color, and we missed big time. Like, so big. 100%. I can't believe how far off we were.
Completely off. I read it and it's like, the first thing I thought was of you, like, oh, Jess, we were so wrong. But somehow it was, we could have guessed it. We could have guessed it. Black. She's black.
Yeah. I didn't guess it. There's no way. And do you know what we learned? Okay, so we learned some very interesting news, like how dragons function. So she grew bigger because she used a lot of energy to save Violet by stopping time. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so if they use a lot of energy, they get bigger. First, that's interesting. So they don't grow based on age; they grow based on energy consumption. She did not know what color she would be. So that, I was like, they don't know their color. So how are hatchlings made? Like, is it? Yeah. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I didn't get it either. So is it not 2 dragons of one color make 1 dragon? Because also Taryn says nobody knew what kind of color she will become except for the elders. And even they don't, like, not, like, I didn't get it either. Like, how are dragons made then? Like, how? Just how?
I don't get it. I'm confused. So, I don't get, I don't know. Like, I have zero understanding of, like, zero understanding of how dragons get a color. Okay? Like, maybe, like, so could her parents have been an orange and a blue? And she came out black? Like,
make it make sense.
I don't know. Well, it could be like some animals. I think it's reptiles or something. Like, if there's a certain temperature, they become female or male based on, like, I think it's either reptiles or I think it's reptiles. So, like, in the egg, if it's too hot, they become female, and if it's too cold, they become male. So, like, maybe, like, that's for dragons. Like, if it's a specific because they said there were a lot of black dragons born recently. Remember? Yeah. There were like 2 or 3 that had hatched in the Vale already. So we're looking at, like, there are many more black dragons because we only hear about 2 that are in service. Yeah. So they're hatching out more.
I think
and I'm like, okay.
Your theory with the reptiles makes a lot of sense because they're also in eggs. So something with the eggs happening makes a choice of what kind of, like, color they'll become. Definitely makes sense. Yeah. I think we'll learn about, okay, I don't know if we learn about it in this book, but we will definitely learn about it at some point, like why they get their color. And it will be a cool fact, I think.
Yeah, it'll be something new. I think it might be energy in the historic hatching grounds. Like, there was a lot of fighting in this ground, so they hatched more black dragons. So this is still only chapter 2.
There's a lot of happening right now.
And we learned, like, so we also learned that dragons can pick their tail. So
just pick him. I didn't know about that. That's also a weird fact. Like, how can you just pick your tail? Like, you know what? I always felt like a dagger tail. Like, let's go. Oh, okay, sure.
I know. I don't yet. Like, the dragon stuff, I'm still confused. Like, I'm hoping it'll come together at some point, but understanding of dragons, like, 1%.
And I think that's it for chapter 2 almost. You have a last note.
Yeah, so I think, this was just my theory, I mentioned it earlier. Malgrin won't tell the population about the uprising, about the Wyverns, about the Venin. Like, their leadership's keeping it a secret. And I don't know if it's his dragon agrees with this, but I don't know how much power his dragon has to, like, counter Malgrin. I don't know the relationship. Like, I wonder how that works. And I do think that Violet's dad, maybe did not know about Weverin, which I think they mentioned with
so?
Brennan. Yeah, I think he researched it, but I'm not sure he necessarily knew Weverin actually existed.
But why did he? Why was he so persistent of like? Why did he hide this one note in the Fable book? You know, why was he so persistent with it?
I think he knew about Venin, but maybe not Weverin. So I'm sure that will come out. I'm excited to see Violet's dad's, like his how that works.
I also feel like maybe she will maybe find the, how do you say it, the recipe to create the wards maybe also in his notes, like maybe a combination of archives and his notes. So that will be interesting.
Okay. I wonder if feathertails play a role in creating wards. Like you need their maybe. You need their energy. You need their sacrifice of their youth. You need to sacrifice their youth to create the wards, like Adarna. Like she's no longer a feathertail. Like you make them grow.
Maybe, maybe.
Right? Maybe. So, and I wanted to add one little side note. Adarna is a sassy teenager now.
Oh, she's so annoying. Honestly, I liked her. I liked her before, but like this puberty thing is like, oh God, I can't. Like I can't. I just
no, me neither.
Go to sleep and just stay out of this story until you wake up and be an adult, please. I don't care.
I like the child. I mean, it's pretty true though. Like, you know, once most people hit puberty, like, kind of have that attitude, like, I don't like my parents, I'm too cool, and I know what I'm doing. So, like, it's like an extreme version. It's an extreme version of it. So, I get it, but so also,
even
like,
more
just
annoying. Yeah.
Just so annoying.
Yeah.
Adarna, not my favorite dragon anymore.
Not anymore.
Sorry, guys.
Chapter 3. So, so the squad arrives at Basgiat. So that's something was surprising for me, that they actually all make it back to school, because we had some theories like in the last episodes. Will they even get all together there?
Yeah.
Will they lie about Xaden being dead or something? And I was surprised. They all just, you know, decided to go back together because Xaden had a plan, and I liked the plan. It was cool.
So my theory, I was a little bit confused. Like, so they convinced. Actually, we'll kind of talk about that later. Let's go.
Yeah. That's
that's like that's the next chapter. I'll be my thoughts. So keep going. Chapter 3.
What did I say here? Oh, yeah. Oh, actually, sorry, I did go ahead a little bit. But anyway, so the squad does arrive at Basket, like, for a specific surprise moment we don't know yet. And then we also get revealed by Taryn why humans and dragons bond. I think I just mentioned it, like, a few moments ago, that they're, like, together because they were saving each other. Like, the humans were saving their people and the dragons were saving their hatchlings, but all together they had one enemy, and this was the Venins. So relationship is not really voluntarily, they don't want to be like dragons. They're together out of necessity, I think. What do you want to say?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That's like, dragons don't actually want to be bonded to humans. Like, they just need it so that their wards protect the young.
Yeah. And I think humans too, they just need it, you know, they just want to protect their people also from the Venins. So I guess that they choose this one interest, one goal together. And since then, they just keep bonding, I guess. So they go back to school. They, like, you know, spy around and stealth around to not be seen. And then they retrieve some letters from Liam that they haven't mentioned it yet anymore in those, like, in the next chapter. So I'm just wondering what kind of letters were so important to get from
I think they were for Sloane. I think they were for his sister.
I'm
pretty
sure.
Oh
my God, yes. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. True. And then they just arrive at graduation just in time to hear they were declared dead. That was funny. When Xaden was saying, "Oh well, that's awkward because I'm standing right here." It's like, huh, okay. Yeah.
Eidos. Eidos is not good.
That was nope.
No.
Not at all. So that was actually chapter 3, just a little sum it up. They're coming back. Chapter 4, or do you have anything else to add?
No, that's good. Chapter 3 was quick. Like, it was kind of more like them arriving back at school.
Yeah.
Violet's mom's pissed at Eidos. Because Xaden explains the situation and lies a little bit, but not too much. He says that they were like, I mean, they lied a little bit, but not a little bit. They were like false truths.
Yeah.
So Eidos is probably pissed they're alive. He's like, what the heck? How did these guys survive this? Right? So, Violet's mother takes Violet's side on this. So they explain that they went to Empyrean, and they were ambushed by a group of riders, which was true. They fought. They didn't fight the riders. They fought the Wyvern. Yeah, the Venin. So they say that Violet was really injured and that they needed to find someone to help her, which I think was a little bit not... I don't know if I would believe this, but I also do believe it because they said that it was a day's ride, or it was a couple days ride back to Biscaya. Yeah. So I could see them believing that because maybe she was... But they could have sent someone back to Biscaya to, like, say, hey, Violet was hurt. But whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, somewhat believable.
I imagine you reading the book and just reading it and thinking, I could have lied better. Like, this lie is not good.
Yeah, actually, though, I was like, okay. But, I mean, Violet's mom is going to take her side always. So,
yeah.
You know, she's mad.
Which I'm really glad about, yeah.
Yeah, so she's not as evil as we thought, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
And
well, at least she didn't try to kill her own daughter, which is a nice surprise, I would say.
Yeah, that was good. Eidos tried to kill her daughter.
Yeah.
Are the Eidoses working together? So is Dane and his dad working together? And did he really read Violet's mind? Did he read Violet's mind?
Know.
Like,
actually, that's such a good thought. Maybe he didn't even do it. Maybe they just knew about it in another way. But
yeah,
I feel like, oh no, we're doing a Tamlin on the Dane. Maybe Dane turns out to be not that of an asshole, and he's just trying to be a good friend, and it's just misunderstood. I feel bad now for him. If it's true, I do feel bad because it could be true actually, because he does follow the leadership, but I feel like he wouldn't hurt Violet. Like, if he really knew that she would fly into death, I think he wouldn't let her. So actually, it's a good point. I think he didn't know what was happening at Athaban, and he doesn't know what his own father was doing.
I think so. I don't think he read her mind. I think Eidos wanted to kill Xaden, which I totally get. And I don't think they necessarily thought that Violet would go with Xaden to Athaban. Like, she wasn't supposed to go. So, yeah. I wonder if Dane, like, I don't know that Dane actually read Violet's mind, but he did say, I remember he was like, she's going to get you killed, Violet. Like, meaning Xaden was going to get Violet killed. So, I don't know if he knew that. I don't know, though. Like, did he know that he was sending them to their death, or did he just mean it like Xaden's bad news?
But then again, if I remember correctly, Dane said something along the lines of, I'll miss you, when he said goodbye to the war games to Violet. So this kind of sounds like he knew what will happen, but
did he?
Maybe it was, yeah, did he? Maybe it was just meant in a sense of like, I'll miss you because you're now in Xaden's grip and we're not friends anymore. I think you're actually right. I think Dane didn't read her mind. He was respecting her privacy and they're just all misunderstanding him.
Yeah.
He's still annoying, but misunderstood.
Dane redemption arc. Dane is the new Tamlin, and we don't want Dane dead anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see. So, there is, so that happened. And now they're officially, like, this is graduation. They're officially second years.
Yeah.
They come back to graduate. Yeah. They get no break. Yeah. They just, boom.
Boom, next. Same for the
second
years. They get their written, task projects, whatever, like their assignments, and Xaden leaves right away, so no breaks here. Really, like, that's hard. Yeah.
It was sad. It was like, Xaden's hardly in this. He's gone now. He has to go, so Violet's still pissed. Violet's pissed at him. Yeah. So moving on to chapter 5, everyone's celebrating, graduating, woo, third years get to go onto the front lines, and then like second years are now second years, cool, you survive first year. Xaden and Violet, this is interesting. So yeah, he does leave. They had a little bit of a talk. They were like, I can stay if I can sleep in your bedroom because wing leaders have to move out of their bedroom first. I was like, yeah, Violet, let him sleep.
Yeah, let him sleep there, please. Oh man. Mm-hmm. If I would be Violet, and I really like that I know I like Xaden, and he goes into the front line, and I don't know when I will see him again. Maybe he'll die. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't be that pissed about him. Like, maybe it's the last time you see him. So,
I know.
God, get together and just enjoy the next 24 hours you have, bruh. Please.
Yeah, same. I was like, do it. Like, I don't know. We're thirsty. I apologize for the level of thirst.
I don't care at this point. Please.
So yeah, you're right. The thing here is that Taryn is now pissy. Scale's pissy. Xaden's pissy. Violet's pissy because they only get to see each other once a week, which is way longer than the 3 days that they like to be apart. And they have to fly 12 hours to see each other. Because Xaden, this is punishment. They were like, Xaden wasn't here, so we didn't give him an assignment, so he's going to have to go the furthest away. We're going to have to send him way out there. Like, what?
Yeah. No, that's just
it's just cruel.
Like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just cruel. We all know there's somebody behind this, so they're just playing with them.
Yeah.
But
I was pissed.
I was pissed too. Like, everybody was pissed. I was pissed. I knew you were pissed because I didn't expect Xaden and Violet now to be apart from each other like a whole week. Like, I knew about the 3 days thing, but like a whole week? Like, oh, come on. But I don't know. But if you remember, I did predict, even though it was a little bit different, I did predict that they will have like this little meetings and seeing each other, even though it's not really like I predicted, but like it came true, like kind of.
Yeah, it's true. They're together a little bit.
Yeah.
So this was annoying. And then the best part of this whole thing was our new villain. Yes. Our new villain's here.
Yes.
Varish is our new villain. He gets villain vibes all the way.
100%. Yep. And he's friends with Adas, and I don't know, the way I imagine him being like, I don't know why, but he looks like a vampire to me. I don't know why. Having gray and like black hair with gray stripes, even though it wasn't described like this, but like imagine him like really vampire-ish, villainish. I don't know why.
Okay.
Let's see.
I had it different. Do you know he wasn't evil in Harry. Oh, he was evil in Harry Potter. Who is the guy with one eye that was like kind of evil? I can't remember their name. We're doing Harry Potter is such an injustice in this book. Or in this podcast. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. You mean the one that can transform to a rat?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know his name actually. But I know
Yeah.
what you mean. You depicted.
Yeah.
You imagining him like that?
Yeah, because his
Oh
dragon
my
has one eye.
God.
So I like combined the two. I combined like I think he looks like that. That's what I'm picturing in my head. So
Nobody mentioned he had one eye, but just gave him one eye.
his dragon has one eye. Therefore he has one eye.
Makes sense, Jess. I'm not judging. Like, it's your fantasy. It's your imagination.
Yeah. This is why I don't like movies that made out of books. Okay. That's chapter 5. Chapter 6.
Yeah.
Xaden and Violet's goodbyes. I love you. Don't love you, actually, though. Get out of here. I'm pissed at you still for keeping secrets. Violet is unreasonable. She wants all the
At this
honesty
point-
from...
Yeah.
I don't agree.
No.
I don't agree that Xaden has to tell her everything. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
me too.
Like,
Me too. Actually, he's so open about saying everything regarding me and myself. You can know everything about it, like, honestly, all the way. And he's also saying he will never, and he never did lie to her, which is true. So he's just not, you know, telling everything.
yeah.
Which I don't know. I see it like you. Like, Violet is it's unreasonable. Like, I get it. He's trying to just protect her, and she's doing the same thing with Ree and her friends. Like, she's
Yeah.
protecting them by not saying anything. So why doesn't she understand that Xaden is just doing exactly that for her? I don't know.
And-
she should just get over it at this point. I don't know. Yeah.
I agree. 100 because and they do that RSC course like in the next chapter where they
Yeah.
get interrogated. They literally are going to get tortured or whatever. They're going to get kidnapped. And I'm like, if you know all this and you've never been tortured,
Yeah.
and then you get tortured and spill all the beans, like Xaden knows what you're going to go through in second year. Like, I would not want to know all the information that could give the rebellion away. Like, you would literally ruin it all in like 5 seconds. Like, he's better not to know. And he said that if she asked him a question, he would tell her whatever she asked. But it's like, you don't have to disclose everything. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Violet's in the wrong here. Like,
yeah, same,
I don't know.
Same, totally. Yeah. And also, I don't know. I want to know why Xaden tries to not say, like, be fully honest. Is it because Violet can get interrogated, or maybe a different reason? But either way, the reason, like, I get what he's doing. He's just probably trying to, you know, protect her, and that's it.
He's trying to protect her.
Violet.
Melgren
Yeah.
Melgren can see the outcome of her activities. So she's not protected by Rebellion
yes.
Relic. And
True.
he's trying to protect all the people in this rebellion. Like, there are a lot of people in it that could be, like, hurt. So I think he trusts her, but he wants to protect the other people that are under his command. So Violet's in the wrong.
Yeah. Violet's in the wrong, 100%.
Dane. So yeah, we learned Dane is the new wing leader. Great.
Oh, a little cringe if you ask me. Like, the way the way it's described in the book that he's trying to be the new Xaden was like so cringe in my head. That he's trying to be like this. I'm also powerful and really, really bad, and, you know, like, oh, stop, please. Just
I
please
know.
stop. Oh gosh.
And Ree, not even shocked Ree's the new squad leader. Like, these were so...
It deserves her.
No prediction. Like, this is, like, so obvious. The Ree's the squad leader and Dane wing leader. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. I wasn't even shocked. Like, it was the end of a chapter 6, like, trying to be a little, you know, like, dropping a bomb at the end of the chapter. It's like, yeah, I don't really care, because I knew it.
Yeah, we all called this. Whatever. Next. So that's chapter 7. This is where that course I mentioned, that RSC course, where they get kidnapped, and then they also mentioned torture at one point, or interrogation, right? Like, there's supposed to be some interrogation point, and I don't know, this course sounds evil. Yeah. But anyways, and with Varish in command, this is an evil course.
100%. I wrote down that I predict that maybe they will kidnap Violet as an excuse for the course, like for the RSC course, and torture her, but I think it will turn out to be a real, like, the real thing, and actually she will be kidnapped for real, tortured for real, and then they're trying to interrogate her for the time that she was away at Athaban. So they will use that course as a cover, but they're actually will do the real thing with her. Like, that's my little prediction here, that this will happen.
I agree. Yeah, that's a good prediction. I think it'll be some messed up stuff. You have this point. Can we trust Jacinia? I think we can trust Jacinia.
Oh yeah.
I think, as far as scribes go, yeah, I think she's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Me too, actually. Like, I have the same feeling as Violet. Like, I think I can trust her, but I'm not fully there yet because I don't want to like put the pressure on her, maybe. But if she knows about it, she will definitely be part of the revolution too.
Yeah, I think she will. I think that they are friends outside of it. They were friends before, so I think they have a history. Mm-hmm. And I think Jacinia might learn that actually scribes aren't necessarily always good. That they can hide history.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree that
then
Violet will go to the archives. And that we already are seeing that 100% there are books in there that are
that will help her find the recipe for the wards.
Yeah, and then I also had this. This is a side point that I had. Like, so the Empyrean knows about Venin. I think it might have been earlier on. The dragons know about Venin, right? We learned that, and then and they're divided on what to do. So I think some of them want to fight the Venin because that was their original mission, was to protect their hatchlings and like from the Venin. So do you think Taryn and Kodai are on the opposite sides of this? So Taryn, I think, wants to fight in the revolution and like wants humans to fight against the Venin to save people and save villages. So do you think Taryn and Kodai are on opposite sides of this, or do you think Kodai also wants to tell the humans about the Venin and that Melgren won't let them?
I actually can't remember who Kodai was again. Was it Melgren's dragon?
Yeah, Melgren's dragon.
Okay. I know we saw at Fourthwing that they were not like the best friends, he and Kodai, but since we have this little theory going on that it might be good, I would think that they're both on the same side. They're just really powerful dragons, both black, both one of the most, scared ones out there. Like, people are scared from them. So I get it. There's a little bit power play in between them, but I think they're still on the same side. What do you think?
I think so too. I don't know. I think I don't know. Maybe Melgren's not that bad.
Yeah.
Do we dare say that?
I think. Oh my god! I wrote it down somewhere, but Melgren is giving me Professor Snape vibes. Is it?
Okay.
Oh no, somebody else. No, somebody else. We'll get to that at chapter 13. But what?
I think it's Professor Carr gives you Snape vibes. Is it Professor Carr?
No, actually, you know who?
Okay.
That's completely something. It's actually the new Vice Commandant Varish. I'm not sure.
No, I think he's evil.
Maybe you think he's evil? Maybe he's just being evil and trying to prepare Violet for something really bad. I don't know. Like, we have a Professor Snape in the group. We just don't know who yet. Like, we have our Quirrell, which is Markham, but our Snape is coming up. Yeah.
But we missed one point where freaking Varish's dragon burns. That happened yet?
Oh,
yeah,
true.
We did put that in there. So I don't think he's giving like leading to Professor Snape vibes. His dragon burned. So like usually when they run away, right? So no, that's later. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Okay, we'll go back to that.
It's actually coming up now.
It's yeah. Sorry, I thought this was earlier. Okay, yeah. So moving on. Chapter 8. Parapet.
Chapter 8.
Parapet. Yeah. We'll mention what we were talking about in a little bit. So Parapet's happening again. And I think in this chapter we had Xaden's notes, or no, we have Brennan's notes saying like if you can avoid watching the first years arriving, he would, because it's like a lot of death.
Yeah.
And Violet is actually tasked with the worst job, which I mean, she's a scribe at heart, so she's supposed to record their names, similar to what Xaden did.
Yeah.
And that's messed up. So she writes their names down and watches them die when they cross the parapet, when the first years cross the parapet. Oh, so bad. And we learn about the two new characters that I think you're right are going to play a role in this. Eric, King Tori's third son.
And
Violet knows him.
Yes.
I did not think this was going to happen. I was so excited.
They both know him because Dane and Violet were actually both standing there, and they both recognize him. So they do have a history with him, maybe when they were children and playing around. So that was interesting. Like, oh, King Tori's third son, like that is playing an interesting role now that he's in. And then, of course, the next character is Sloane. Mari, whatever. I don't know her last name. Yeah, Mari. Yeah, of course. I mean, we all knew at this point that she will show up. You had a little prediction going on that she might be signing, but I think she's not. Right? She's speaking, like talking.
Yeah, no, she doesn't sign. Yeah. I think I saw that somewhere. Yeah, she's not. She doesn't sign. But actually, Imogen knows how to sign too. Did you hear that? Imogen, we learn later on. I think Imogen knows how to sign. So maybe everyone knows how to sign. Maybe it's like
maybe I even thought maybe it's just a how do I say it, like an approach to be inclusive for the book in general, just like that this is something that everybody knows, like signing is just something that everybody had learned at some point. But I can't remember if Violet said something about that she was surprised that Liam can sign. I think she didn't say that.
I don't remember that. No, I don't think so. I think that maybe everyone knows how to do it.
So maybe that's just maybe everybody knows just and then
which is good.
Sloane. Sloane
hates Violet.
And then hates Violet. I was surprised by that. I thought they were having like this little and big sister relationship going on, you know, bonding over Liam and how good he was and blah blah blah, and then she suddenly just hates her. It's like, oh, I didn't even think of that maybe she's pissed about it because she's the reason he died. I mean, it's true. You can tell me what you want, but like she is the reason. And it gives the whole thing a new perspective. I actually like it this way more than what I thought it would be. What do you think?
Me too. Yeah, and also Liam's sister's not super strong like Liam. I love it. I'm like, Sloane is not the character I thought she would be. She hates Violet. She's like weak. Like she didn't train like Liam did. Like she's not a fighter.
Yeah.
So okay, those are some shocks.
Yeah,
I think King Tori's son, Eric. I think.
Yeah, Eric, whatever.
Arik, maybe. Sorry.
Maybe
audiobook too. Arik. Okay. And I think this is kind of where Dane, for me, started to get his redemption arc. He's nice to Violet. He wants to make peace with her. He wants to be friends with her. I'm like, oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Dane and his redemption arc already.
Yeah. But I think he deserves it. He deserves it.
Me too!
If it's true that he's misunderstood, I'm not even mad at this point. It's like, he was annoying at the first book, but like right now, I'm like, I think he's just trying to be a good soul here. That's all he does.
We're bleeding hearts. I don't know. We already forgive Dane for everything he's done. I'm like, please save Dane. Okay.
True.
And then, so after Parapet, they all assemble, similar to they did the last year, and they like welcome them, and the dragons show up. And this one's wild to me. So they try to get people that are afraid to run away, but Varish's dragon, when the people run away, it randomly tries to kill all of Fourth Squad.
Out of
Fourthwing.
nowhere.
I was like, what? So, but Taryn knew. Taryn was like, Violet, keep your eye on, what's his dragon's name? I don't know. She's like, Solus. Yeah, keep your eye on Solus. He's like, don't look down. Keep your eye on Solus. And Solus he waits for these people to run until they're right in front of Fourthwing. And then fires on them. And I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy.
It's vicious. Really vicious. So actually, you're right. Such a vicious dragon, bonding with Varish, he can't be our Professor Snape. They're just both our new villains. A new villain dragon and a new villain commander. But yeah.
100%.
And then we also get to learn that Tern and Solus are not friends.
No.
And that actually Tern is the reason that he only has one eye. And I want to know about that story. So
Me too. And also Tern mentions that Solus chose poorly for a rider with Varish. So I wonder, can the human emotion change the dragon emotion? Like if the human is evil, can it slowly corrupt the dragon and vice versa? Like maybe they have this relationship where they slowly like become
Very
one.
Interesting. I can imagine that being true. Maybe.
Right?
Maybe Solus wasn't. Yeah, maybe he wasn't a bad dragon or like a vicious dragon all the time. Oh, I want to know about this. Could be.
Because I don't think dragons, like, they just want to protect their young. So it's so weird that they would be evil. Like, I just don't get it. So I think that their relationship, they feed off each other's emotions and feelings.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, they're bonded in mind and soul and power. So at least, it would make sense that maybe something, spills over to you and vice versa. So let's see.
And then chapter 9, we're back. We're back. Battle brief. It's like we never left. We never left Baskaya. We're at battle brief. Everyone's there, and you predicted Markham is bad. You said he's like, and I think you're right. Markham's bad. He knows, and he's not doing anything. Because he insinuates. He insinuates a lot of stuff about Violet that she knows more than she should. He agrees with Ados. So Markham's bad.
The way he was. 100%. The way he behaved in battle brief and looked over to Violet and stuff like that. Oh, I knew in this moment we're gonna get to learn that Markham is actually under the roof with the other people and is actually described that changes the history and tries to hide everything from the past. So there we go, Professor Quirrell, we gotcha.
We got you. We found you. We make a lot of Harry Potter. Like, we compare this to Harry Potter a lot. I don't know why.
It gives me the vibes.
Yeah.
Like, at least for me. Like, it gives me a lot of vibes of that. So, I don't know.
I totally agree. No, it's giving me the vibes as well. Assessment day.
Yeah.
So they're back on the mat.
Yep.
And some wild stuff happens.
Sorry.
No, you go.
Yes.
You explain this.
No, I just read my own notes and I just remembered what happened. So we're at assessment day. What's her name again? Oh gosh. Sloane wants to fight Violet, but obviously they can't. And then she's fighting Eric, and then suddenly like this big buffy guy comes around and asks who's Violet. And then Nadine's just joking around like, hey, you see my purple hair? I'm Violet. And just snaps her her neck. And like, she's dead? I had to reread this line like 3 or 4 times. Like, wait, is she actually just dead now? that fast? And then suddenly we're breaking out into a fight between the both of them. And it reminds me of like Game of Thrones, like the mountain when he's going off and killing people, like just this buffy, really hard guy, and then Violet, of course, somehow manages to kill him, but what a wild scene, like out of nowhere.
I didn't get it either. I was listening and I was like, wait, what? Who did what? So
random, but yeah.
And then we learned that Mira was also had attempts on her life in the quadrant. So Sorrengails are trying to get assassinated. I think Ados was up to this one. Ados tried to have Violet killed.
Yeah, 100%. He or Varish or both of them. I mean, both of them anyway. I think, what did this Buffy guy say? Like, he said a line that Ados said to her before, like, secrets die with the people. So, 100% we got the message that this is Ados, so...
So, and when we say Ados, we mean Dane's dad. We'll always call him Dane.
Yeah.
So,
Dane is Dane, and Ada's is Dane's dad.
So,
yeah.
And then we learn that Nolan is tired, really tired. So he's trying to mend something. Any theories on what he's trying to mend? You think it's like a, yeah?
Yeah, that's what I wrote down here. Because they mentioned, like everything in a book, it's not mentioned without, a purpose. And they mention him being super tired behind closed doors. I think Ree says something that something weird is going on. So maybe he's trying to mend something, but not humans, because he's mending humans all the time. He can't be tired from that. Or maybe, like they said, Varish is interrogating people and torturing them, and then he has to mend them all the time to get back to their state. But maybe he's also trying to mend something else, like an object or something that needs much more power of him. So I think we'll maybe Nolan is playing a role, and we get to that a little later in the chapters. But something is going on with Nolan.
So I have
not
a wild.
Yeah.
No, okay, it's not. Yeah, it's not mentioned for nothing. But this is a wild theory that cannot be true because there's no way they brought this to Pasgaia. Nolan is trying to mend a Venin. Imagine this. He's trying to mend a Venin into being not corrupt anymore, which is too wild. It's outside. It's like, why would they bring this back to Pasgaia? I think your theory on mending an object, I think mending an object is true. I think that one sounds good.
But then again, now that you mention it, the guy that attacked Violet at Assessment Day, she said something briefly about his eyes being red, like he's on drugs.
Oh.
So maybe they were mending him into a Venin or corrupting him. Or maybe not, but like side note, there's something going up with that too. So they drugged the guy to be this assassin, or he was actually corrupted and slowly turning into a Venin anyway. But maybe, yeah, I wouldn't say that. Yeah, maybe that theory is not that bad actually. That he's involved. But wait, Nolan, do you think Nolan would not say?
I know
that's
it.
Like, would he?
That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I don't think he's evil, so I don't know. But on another note, they're really experimenting with drugs and potions in this one, because like they gave in the later chapters they gave them something that like dampened their bond with dragons. This guy looked like he was on some drugs, so maybe they're like creating all these weird substances that like affect riders and people.
Yeah. Later in the chapters, we'll get to that in a second. But like, we also have some potions that can shut out the bonds and the power. So you're right. Actually, experiments are going on. Yeah, a lot of things. Yeah, there's more of things we don't know. Nolan mending stuff, corrupted assassins, potions shutting out bonds. Interesting. What's happening? We don't know.
What's gonna happen? And we learned that Violet wants in on the action with the Relic kids, the Rebellion kids. She wants in on whatever they're doing, and they're like, absolutely not.
You can't sit with us. Not yet.
No. It's not hidden. I don't understand. Like, Violet, if you know, you can just get that information stolen from you. Or like Melgren can see the outcome. So
yeah.
Whatever. I'm not on Violet's team on this one.
Don't.
Sorry. This one already happened. I'm not on this team. Oh, and then chapter 10, Xaden comes to visit.
Yep.
Our first Xaden view after so many chapters. He comes to visit for such a short period of time. It's so sad. And he has so much to accomplish in a short period of time.
Yeah.
And then you had this point. They talk about brining others too much, bringing others too much.
Oh, what did I say there? Just give me a second. They talk about bring. Did I say that? I can't even remember.
Maybe I said that. Okay, whatever. That might have been me. Whatever. Yeah, that's might have been me. So there's this note that they're the first year this is actually a quote that I've heard a lot now. First year, you lose your life. Second year, you lose your humanity, basically. To become an effective weapon. And I think it's on the back of the book or somewhere. She mentions this somewhere. So they're turning them into the ultimate weapon. And I think it starts with Parapet watching all those people die, like not being close with first years because they're just going to die. Like it's some weird experiment to make these people into just massive killers.
So yeah, I'm still not convinced that maybe I'm still in between. Maybe leadership wants to fight against the Venin, or maybe even they want to create Venins themselves, you know, like have this like completely desensitized horde of you know, soldier people that are just listening to orders and that's it. Like I'm still in between. Do they fight them or actually try to copy them and then fight them? Like I don't know. There's something in between. But yeah, it would make sense to desensitize them to death and, like, you know, just make them inhuman.
Make them the ultimate weapon. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that was chapter 10, briefly, just short. Sweet and short. Like Zayden's visit, unfortunately.
Yeah. Chapter 11, Yesenia. This is interesting. Yeah. I love this part. So Yesenia needs help with the translation. Is this her secret way of getting information to Violet? This was my theory. That she's secretly getting information out of the archives to Violet without giving away that she's doing it, like, on purpose.
So you think she's already in without telling...
I think she's smuggling information out of the archives.
But then again, she mentioned something that the whole archive and the whole scribes are working on, like, translating everything so they don't have to use the old language anymore, which means they would rewrite everything and just nobody can read the old language anymore. This could also be a reason. So it could be your theory that she already, like, she's, you know, providing her information, or she's just tasked to do that, and then I think she's trying, like, just help. Yeah.
No, I think she's trying to save this. I think she's realizing that they're rewriting history, and she's trying to save history. And she gave it to Violet because Violet was asking about the history, so she thinks something's up, and so this book is important. And she's trying to save it so that they don't, like, burn it, basically. Rewrite it and then burn it.
Very interesting. Very interesting, yeah.
So, and Violet's one of the only ones that speaks this language. And Dane. So I was like,
Interesting. Interesting. Why Dane, though? Oh yeah, they used it as a secret language to each other. I remember.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, it will play a role. I think that Dane knows too.
100%. And then we learned that someone was taken away by Professor Markham because he requested a book. Like,
yeah. And then I mean, later we find out that this person that they were dragging away was found dead in his room, beaten to death. So, like, this is the very last point where we all know Markham is really the bad guy. 100%. And like, getting beaten to death just by requesting a book, there's something they really want to hide at all costs. And Jesinia, I don't know her name, like, I just called her Jess. She knows it's wrong, like, she feels bad for reporting the book, but she had to. So I think she, like, slowly gets something is happening here. Yeah.
I think it's the same because she's writing down. She knew that she recorded that this guy had this book and, like, didn't return it or whatever happened there, and had to tell Markham. So I think she's gonna work with Violet, and I think she's secretly smuggling this book out of the library. This book is really important that Violet's supposed to translate.
Yeah. I think also in the translations, she will, like, in the old language book, she will actually find something, like a cue for the ward stones. Like, this is where
the
cue will lie.
Yeah.
It'll
be something 100%. About what Violet requested. She requested that specific like topics, like on the first Dragon Riders and all that. So I think that Justinia knows this and is smuggling out the book that has this information. So I'm excited to see what this book is about.
Yep.
And then
yeah.
Violet gets a letter.
100%. And
she really thought, so moving on, like, Violet gets a letter. She really thought it was from Xaden, and she was so excited. And then she's like, oh, it's just Mira. I was like, oh.
I feel bad
so
for her.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck, that?
Poor girl.
And then she learns it was really redacted. So I was like, ooh, what's Mira trying to tell her? What do you think Mira was trying to say in the letter that was redacted?
Maybe she wasn't even saying something on purpose, but maybe she was just telling something that happened at her outpost that they know shouldn't Violet know about. So that's why they redacted it. Or Mira, tried to say something. But then again, they also mentioned the letter was sealed. Like, somebody with some specific signet powers was able to read the how is it called? The letter and redact it through the I don't know, the letter.
Envelope?
I don't know. Yeah, through the envelope. So without breaking it. So, like, interesting that. So they maybe do this all the time. That they actually read the letters of all people that get in, and they control information like that. But maybe Mira wasn't even trying to say anything, but just said something about her outpost, and then they were like, nope, this should not get to Violet.
Yeah. So I mean, communication has to be in person for it to be okay. Like, everything's censored basically in the school now.
Yep.
You have Kiori's lessons show he doesn't know about the threat. So Kiori, do you think he knows?
Like, they're trying. I don't know. I feel like Kaori is one of the professors that they really don't know about anything. Like, we have, for example, Markham, who's the bad guy and knows about everything. Yeah. Then we also have who's the other one? Oh, I forgot him. Like, our Professor Snape. Who knows? But tries to play along to have like information coming from this group. And then we have Kaori, who's like just clueless, and because he's teaching them all to come onto the ground, but then that would mean they would get killed faster from Venin. So if he would really know about the threat, he would probably teach them how to get airborne faster.
Yeah. So I agree, Kaori doesn't know. He's one of the clueless professors.
Yeah.
And Varish continues to just be evil at this point. Varish is like fulfilling.
Yeah. He's pointing out that, but I think him pointing that out is actually like it's a good point he made. Like, how ironic is it that Violet's dad is researching feather tails, and then suddenly his daughter gets bonded to one. Maybe her father was more involved with the dragons than we know. Like, maybe, I don't know. There's something coming up. But it's a good point that Varish made. Like, I'm giving him that. Yeah, sure. Good observation.
It was pretty good. It was good. I agree. I think he's living up to his evil vibes. So Varish also, so now finally Violet and Xaden, we're getting reunited soon, I believe. So Varish is evil, okay? So he does a random search of all of her stuff before she flies off to see Xaden. And then, I didn't know, so he finds nothing, right? Moral of the story. He looks through her stuff, finds nothing. But Taryn had stuff on him. I didn't realize that. I was like, Taryn, man, you got smuggling weapons out of here? Like, what the heck, bro?
So he was smuggling weapons, right? Weapons.
I think it was weapons. I'm pretty sure it was weapons. They didn't say exactly what it was,
me too.
They said he had stuff on him. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. That was a bold move, because like if they were saying like, we want to check your dragon too, like that would be it. They would be killed like instantly.
Yeah, Yeah, he would not. First of all, Taryn wouldn't let anyone look at him. Like, we're not even shocked about any of this. Okay, so then chapter 12, we're finally gonna see Xaden. Yep. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Samara? The outpost they fly to is Samara? How do you say it?
I think
Samara?
It's Samara, Samandra, I don't know, Samara, whatever. But that's the outpost, yeah.
Yeah, the outpost that Xaden's stationed, and Violet just shows up. She's like, I don't get this, so she can just show up. Taryn's like, hey, peace, like, I gotta go see my wife. My mate.
Bye.
Bye. She's just walking around this outpost, and I was like, I imagine this so weird. Like, she's like, just shows up and can walk around this place. But I guess it makes sense, whatever. And
yeah.
She finds Xaden fighting? I was like, oh, because she can use her bond. I was like, how did she find him again? But she can use her bond to, like, kind of know where he is.
Like, she felt him tugging. Yeah.
So, and he's fighting in the pit to win free time with her for Sigale and her.
Yep. Really cute. Really cute.
It was cute. And Xaden's like, he's done. Yeah? Go.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, no, you go.
I was just saying that the girl who Violet was talking, that she said also, you should see the other outposts where they turn to each other's back. So I was just, a little surprised by that. The outposts were supposed to be, your final assignment. This is where you're in the front, and then suddenly they turn out to be more brutal and stabbing in the back than they were depicted to be. So just pointing that out, that okay, so it's also just a lie they tell people, that when they graduate they will have this wonderful life at the outpost, but it's just shit.
Yeah, it's literally just worse. It just gets worse. Life just keeps getting worse in this universe.
Like, the school years were actually the best.
100%. Like, we liked school. This is, like, terrible. At least you had friends, and they were together. But Xaden basically, like, says, I love you. I think they made out, right? They made out a little bit.
Yeah, they did made out. Yeah. I thought we were getting spice. I really thought for a moment, but then Xaden stops because he wants love, and it's just so... He is too lovey-dovey. Like, it's too much. But I'm not saying in a like, okay, people, listeners, audience, watchers, don't understand me wrong. Like, I like romance. I like a good love story. I like a good romantic man. It's just... He's depicted as this asshole, but then suddenly turns 360 degrees and being this romantic guy. Like, no, I want to stop here. Like, I want you to love me. Like, it's the only thing about the whole book that for me, Yarros is somehow, like, not getting a hang of it. Like, his character is, like, what is he? Is he the asshole now? Is he the romantic person who does like... it's just too extreme at the same time. Like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's...
Yeah, I get it.
It bugs me. It bugs me.
I agree. I know what you're talking about. It's like... Yeah. He's not his personality. Like, he literally just fought some dude in a pit for time off. And won.
Yeah.
And then, like... it annoys me as well, so... I'm on your boat. But I like romance.
Yeah.
Like,
no, go ahead.
Their makeup should be through hatred. I feel like they're gonna like make up through this level of hatred, not like lovey-dovey. Like, come on.
Yeah. So. You actually had a good point with, like, his way of showing affection is, for example, being in the pit fighting for his free time, because, like, I believe him when he says, like, he would do everything for her and, like, take the time with her, but, like, just suddenly being this soft out of nowhere, like, that's not his character. I don't know, maybe it's just us, but no spice, because Xaden is soft. That's the reason.
And he gives us we learn a little bit in chapter 12. So Xaden explains how weapons are used to power the wards. So.
Yep. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Didn't know that. Yep.
Small tidbit. Chapter 13. We leave the outpost. We're done with Xaden.
Yep.
Peace out, Xaden. See you next time.
Uh-huh.
See you in like 20 chapters, probably. So,
probably.
Yeah, I think, like, most likely. Come on. Varish continues to live up to his evil name, and Professor Carr, they take Violet, and they want her to wield her signet to, like, the point of failure, basically. They want her to keep going until she has nothing left. And he's pissed because she didn't bring a Darna. He was like, you need to bring both your dragons to training. And she's like, well, how do I bring in Darna? She's a black dragon now, and she's sleeping. Like, how do I deal with this?
I can't.
So she doesn't. Yeah. She's like, I know. She's already like messed up. Like, he already hates her, and now he really hates her because she didn't bring in Darna.
Yep.
I think my theory here, Professor Carr is not bad. Professor Carr did not want Violet to push herself to the point of failure, but only Varish did. Varish wanted her to basically die while wielding her power.
100%.
So,
100%.
Yeah, I think my theory is Carr is not bad. We initially thought Carr was going to be bad, but he's not. I think he's trying to protect Violet. Varish is definitely the evil one. And I didn't know this, so if you keep pushing to the point of failure with your signet, you, like, burn up. So, Carr knew this. Like, you would just, I guess, overheat.
Yeah. But I thought if you use too much power, you would corrupt. No?
I think if you draw, she was within the veil. So I don't think you can draw from the land within the veil. We had this theory, right? Like outside the veil, you can start to draw power from the earth, and that's how you become a Venin. I think.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I think she just drew from herself continuously until the point like she was drained internally, but she never drew from outside sources. So it's just from Taryn and herself.
True. True.
And Taryn was pissed. Taryn is like, I'm gonna literally kill Varish if he continues to do this to you. So this was, I don't know, like, I thought Taryn would interfere. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he would interfere. He didn't really interfere that much. Like, he didn't necessarily stop her from doing it.
I also thought he would say, like interfere somehow. Like, he's still a dragon and can just kill Varish. Like, he also, he was also wounding Solas, so his dragon. So I don't know, like, why. I expected more. I don't know. Maybe it's coming up. Maybe next time Taryn's patience is over and then he actually attacks Varish. I hope so.
Me too. Solas is going down.
Yeah.
I think that's all that happens there. I mean, like, she burned up internally. They dropped her in water, cool her down. Okay, chapter 14. This is my favorite part of the book so far. I don't know about you, but this is my favorite chapter.
Okay.
14. Do you agree? Because they're kidnapped.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Yeah, so they're kidnapped, and they're forced to do a challenge with infantry. You didn't love this? I was like, yes, we have to work collaboratively now. Basically, what I got from this is riders are kind of assholes and elitists. This was my takeaway from, like, them showing up with infantry.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, these guys they have the same haircut. They have the same hairstyle. They have the same outfit. They have the same, like, name tags look the same. And I'm like, the riders look like a bunch of, like, rebels. Like, their uniforms are all messed up, and they have, like, messed up hair, and they have cuts in their clothes for daggers. Like, I just felt like,
poor guys.
Riders are just, like, yeah, right? Like, riders are, like, these delinquents that can do whatever they want because they have dragons, and infantry has to conform. So, and there's a scribe there with them, and a healer. So I'm like, oh, we're getting all the quadrants working together on this challenge. And, they said infantry's better at land navigation. But the riders were like, absolutely not. Infantry is better at nothing. We're the best at everything. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like...
Pretty assholes, yeah.
I don't know. I didn't like the vibe. I didn't like the vibe at all. And so the professors gave them, all the riders, a drink that had this, like we said, this potion in it. This, like, tincture that, like, numbed their bond with the dragons. So they're unable to communicate with their dragons. And then they realized, actually, that they're quite weak. They're basically the same as infantry without their dragons. So... And they still had elitist vibes. The riders...
teach them a lesson. Sorry?
No, yeah, you're right. It should teach them a lesson. Because they still had, like I said, this elitist vibe. Like, riders seem like elitists. And infantry is like, if they would have worked together with infantry, they would have actually maybe found what they were looking for. But they didn't work together with infantry, did they? They just were like, you know what? I have our map. We know where we're going. And infantry was like, I don't think this is right. And they're like, no, it's right, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I really did not like riders in this situation. What did you think?
Me neither. No, me neither. Not at all. Like, when Riddick said something, who was it? Like, some from the infantry said, do you think you're better than us? Like, above us? And then he said, well, we're literally above you when we're on our dragons. Like, shut up, don't be an asshole. Like, those people are standing in the front of the line. Like, they actually have, like, the worst job of all the scribe, what is it called, squadrons?
The quadrants.
Nice. Yeah. I don't know. That they didn't even compare the maps. It just says how dumb that was. Like, please work together like normal people. But that didn't work well. I was like, wow, these riders are such assholes. And they said this is the strongest group. Like, so Violet has the strongest dragon, and then they mentioned that the infantry was like some of their strongest groups as well to work together. And for the two strongest groups of people from each quadrant, they were terrible. Like, it was literally just absolutely terrible. Yeah. And the worst part here is, like, the crazy thing to me, so, like, I think the goal of this challenge was infantry would be able to navigate the map. Like, they would be able to find where they're going. And the riders were supposed to help infantry be able to survive encountering dragons. Like, I think this was the task. But the riders were like, oh, we know how to navigate, blah, blah, blah. And infantry, and then they didn't teach infantry how to deal with dragons. So, like, it was terrible. It was a terrible combination. Because when they, like, they didn't do their jobs. And when they saw, I love this, Jack's dragon, Jack just never leaves, okay? Most hated character from book 1, Jack Barlow, back again. Still here.
Still here. His dragon? Yeah. And his dragon is pissed at Violet, because Violet killed this rider. So they show up, and it was actually crazy to me, because Thomas died? Like, Thomas, I don't know, it was just messed up. So, like, his dragon ended up killing part of the group, right? Because some of them ran or something. Was that what happened?
Yeah.
They ran, Thomas tried to save them, and Jack's dragon was evil. So Jack's dragon was like, whatever. I think it was Baird or whatever. He, like, killed them.
Bye. Yep.
Bye. Peace out. So, like, honestly, this challenge was a major failure. They did not work together. People ended up dying. They did not find where they were supposed to go. Like, it was terrible. I was like, I love this. These guys suck. Like, zero teamwork.
And on top of it, we missed Xaden. So if they would have worked together, they would have probably be faster out of there. And we could have had a moment with Xaden, but no, they had to be assholes. They had to be. Yeah.
I know! And we had to wait another week, which was like 2 to 3 chapters, I think, before we see Xaden again. I'm so annoyed.
I can't. It is annoying, but yeah. But that was
she did us dirty.
Happening. I'm just feeling, really dirty. I just feel really bad for the infantry. Like, they just lost, but then again, the writers were saying, don't run. Like, don't run when you see a dragon.
But they
and
could
then
have
just might
prepped them a
panic
bit.
because- Yeah, I know. They should have. It's a mess. It's a mess, Jess. This whole chapter is a mess. It just didn't go well. And I think the next time they get kidnapped, it's either our prediction that it will be for real, or they will actually work together and then be able to
solve the challenge. Yeah.
Yeah,
me too.
Solve the challenge.
So that's 14. And then our last chapter, which was short and sweet. Chapter 15.
Yep.
Basically, they go back to Vesgaia.
Just getting
They
back.
failed their challenge. They suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, I don't know. Chapter 15 was super short.
Yeah, it's just short. Just really just getting back. And then Violet ends the chapter with, she feels like she won't see Xaden next week too. And I think it's just because she realized that somebody's, laying stones ahead of her way to not, that they don't see each other as much as they can. So, which is also evil, because Taryn and Gale, as like, the longer they're not together, the more physical pain they do. How do you say it? They feel
experience.
Physical pain, right? So it's also coming on top. Like, it's an actual, it's actually hurting them. So really excited to see how that plays out. So will we see Xaden next week? Maybe not. Maybe not even in 2 weeks. So maybe not even in the next book. So let's see.
Don't say that. So chapters next week. Thank you guys for listening to our chapter by chapter debrief of the first 15 chapters of Ironflame. Next week we're gonna cover the next 15 chapters. So from 16 to 30, including 30.
Yeah.
Leah, your predictions. Yep. We're gonna have Xaden. Are we gonna have Spice?
The only thing that matters. I feel like we won't get Spice. I really feel like we won't get Spice because Violet is way too obsessed with not trusting Xaden, and Xaden wants her to love him, whatever. So we're not getting Spice, but we're learning probably more about her mission, finding for the wards. We might get to see Mira, and I don't know, like, anything can happen. We will probably learn more about the professors, which are good, which are bad. And also if Jazinia will join the secret revolution. But all in all, what's 100% of our prediction is that this will be action-packed as hell, like always. So
yes, I'm excited. It's going to be action-packed.
What do you think? Yeah.
No, I agree with everything you said. It's going to be action-packed. Guys, you gotta listen to the next episode to see if any of our predictions came true and what's gonna happen. And if we get Violet, Xaden, Spice, and what professors are evil.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Thanks for listening. Please subscribe or follow or leave a comment. It means a lot. And we'll see you guys next week.
And see you next week. Bye-bye.